Until you make the unconscious conscious, you will allow it to ruin your life and call it fate. This is a quote by Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist and psychologist renowned for his in-depth research of the unconscious mind's symbolisms and personal transformation. The unconscious is often also called the shadow because it is the parts of ourselves that we have deemed unlovable that are hiding in the dark. And what happens with the shadow is that everything that we don't own will own us, meaning that all of the aspects of ourselves that we are afraid to share with the world, that we are afraid we will be judged, where we deem ourselves unlovable and unacceptable, will gain power. And they will become these forces that will make us project onto other people. So if you're somebody who gets easily triggered, or like everyone, we feel that other people are acting in a way that we don't think is okay. This can be in the way that they treat other people. This can be in the way that they show up in the world. This can be whatever it is. Politics is a typical one that people get super triggered. Football is another one. Like there's these examples where we just get really triggered by the way other people show up in the world. And the reason we get triggered by other people is because they are showing a part of the human spectrum that we have disowned. And so when we see it in other people, we get triggered because it allows us to understand that there's a part of ourselves that we have not accepted and embraced. And the pain of our sense of not being whole, of not being loving and accepting of the whole human condition that we are here to experience and understand is so big that it will bring up our own pain of disownment. It will bring up our own pain of disconnection from our whole authentic self. And when we see it alive in others, the anger will be projected onto them. A story that I read about that I found incredibly fascinating was that humans are one of the only species that learn just by watching. Most of the animals and mammals will learn through experiencing something themselves. And they did this experiment where they put a woman and a child in a room and another child was watching. And so the child in the room with the woman was pressing all of the buttons and the adult was there and everything was fine. When it was the child's turn that was watching to go into the room, they pressed all the buttons, everything was great. When they did this experiment and they put the adult and the child in the room and the child pressed all the buttons and the adult started yelling and scolding the child for pressing all of the buttons and making noise and misbehaving, the child that was watching went back into the room and didn't touch any buttons because he had learned the lessons. And so what happens is that the shadow that we hold is not only from the things that we have experienced growing up, the conditioning of society and the expectations of our caretakers that they put on us, but also the behaviors we have watched in how the world works and how the dynamic between our parents and siblings are, that we learn what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And so even this is an incredible social skill. We have to understand that everything that we don't own owns us. Meaning all of the things that you are ashamed of, all of the mistakes that you have made that you don't own up to, they will become a monster that will eat up your subconscious and will come for you in your nightmares because there is guilt and shame around your whole expression and the whole plethora that it means to be a human in this world. The way that we experience the shadow being exposed is when we get triggered. And I don't know about you, but I am getting triggered all the time. This can be a very small thing where I'm like, somebody in traffic is like making me angry, or it could be something more around the values that I believe are important, right? But what a trigger actually represents, it is awakening a shadow from your subconscious. And this is because the subconscious is always there, even though you have disowned it, even though you're disconnected, even though it holds parts of your lost authentic self. It is ruminating in the dark. That is why it's called the shadow. And so what happens is that when we see somebody else express an aspect that we have in the shadow, when we see it out and about, alive and in color, expressing itself, The pain that we feel, that we are not embracing the totality and the wholeness of our human consciousness and our human expression, is so painful. It reminds us that we are not whole. It reminds us that we carry shame and guilt. And when we see it alive in somebody else, our shadow gets triggered and it's like, oh no, that's not okay. I am not allowed to express that sense, that feeling, that idea, that concept. That's not okay for them to do it. If I'm hiding it, if I'm like disowning it, if I am hating part of my whole authentic self, why are they allowed to show it live and direct? And that is why integrating our shadow is so important, because we can have different values, but we all have the same human experience. We don't have to act on all of the thoughts and all of the emotions that we have. But being triggered is the thing that creates most darkness in the world, because we blame, we can get aggressive, we can hurt the other person because we're trying to alleviate our own pain. The first step to self-awareness is understanding your shadow so that you stop blaming other people for the pain that you not being accepting of your whole authentic self is causing in your life. In this video, I'm going to address all of the shadow aspects of your energy type in your human design so that you start really looking into and asking with curiosity what these parts of yourself are trying to tell you, and what are the steps that you can take to start healing all of the disowned aspects of yourself so that you can come back to that beautiful, sparkling, whole expression of self that will allow you to attract and align the right people, opportunities, and chances in your life. Let's dig deep. Welcome to the Human Design Portal, your safe space to decondition so that you can align with your soul's true purpose. My name is Maika Gabriela, and I'm a human design reader, a deconditioning expert, and the founder of the Soft Power Membership, your go-to virtual palace online portal where we have so many beautiful tools that will allow you to not only to understand your human design intellectually, but actually allow you to embody your energetic authenticity so that you can attract the right people, opportunities, and chances in your life. You have a 7-day free trial. Join now, click the link below in the description, and access the treasury full of tools to support you. My beautiful projector, I know that you struggle. I read it in the comments under videos like this. And I want you to understand that this is all because society has taught you that it's not okay to operate in the way that you are designed to operate. So the shadow for the projector is going to be surrounding laziness, lack of energy, this fear of embodying your feminine energy, because we live in a very high-driven, masculine, operating society. And so there can be a lot of rejection, a lot of fear, a lot of, just not valuing yourself just because you're not here to work 12 hours a day and produce and create value through what you're doing. And this is a very painful experience to have, because this concept, this belief that you have, this limiting idea that you have of your potential is tied to your shadow aspect, all of these parts of yourself that you have rejected around laziness, not having energy, not being able to initiate. These are incredible, beautiful tools that you have been designed to operate with so that you can align with your soul's true purpose. And by continuously sitting in the shadow of who you've come to be and feeling a victim to your purpose actually is keeping you in burnout, is keeping you away from the things you truly desire, and is not allowing people to see you for who you truly are. You know that Rihanna song, work, 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 work? That's often how generators feel that they're here for. So many generators come to me and they're like, oh, I hate being a generator. All I'm meant to do is work. And actually, that is not true. But that is the perception of the negative idea that you have surrounding your sacral energy, your consistent energy. You might feel that you have put yourself in a situation where you're continuously trying to people please and support everybody around you. And so the generator is such a sparkling force of life, pleasure, desire, joy, that when you are only moving from the shadow of being used, of being abused for your sacral energy, you will never understand the power and the force that you have to persuade and uplift and support other people in the most positive, empowering way. And we need all of you generators to live a free life where you get to do the things that you're excited about doing. Because when you are in burnout, you are not serving anyone. And so this limiting concept that you're here to slave away for others doesn't serve anybody. Your shadow is really that deep fear of stepping into your desire, that it is safe for you to do the things that excite you, that it is the best thing you can do for the world to start a new hobby or to pursue that thing that won't make you money because you never know. This whole idea of like, oh, don't do that, you won't be able to build a business. If you're a generator and you're excited about what you're doing, I am promising you, money will come and you'll be like, what? This side thing I didn't even think about making money from, that's the thing that is going to bring you abundance. So when you start owning your shadow, you start bringing it into the light, you will see, you will be able to embody that pure life force that you've come here to share with the world and just make the world more beautiful with your creative input. I know, dear manifesting generator, that it is scary to always be pivoting, and that you might have this fear of people thinking that you don't have grit, that you don't have consistency, that you are too wishy-washy, that people don't know who you truly are, that you are confusing people. As long as you are clear with yourself and you really own the parts of yourself that feel ashamed of the way that you commit to things, that feel the need to blame yourself for pivoting and trying out new things, that feel, that there's something wrong with you because you are so dominant, you are so powerful, especially if you're a female manifesting generator, you can have a sense that society doesn't really support the way that you're meant to move through the world, and therefore you're keeping yourself small, you're only operating from the generator energy, and you're not allowing yourself to express the power that is sitting in your voice. All of these things are a detriment to who you've come to be in the full experience that it is to live in the power of being a manifesting generator. You are glorious, you are sparkling, you are magnetic, you're radiant. And so all of the judgment that you have around how you show up in the world and the things that you enjoy doing and how you want to move through the world, the speed at which you move through the world, all of the shame and blame that you are internally giving yourself with negative self-talk is actually holding you back from being able to step unapologetically into your full potential. My beautiful manifestor, I know it's tough. I know it's tough. Maybe you were yelled at as a kid. You shouldn't be so confident. How do you dare be so confident? How do you have an opinion? I am your parent. I am your caretaker. I am here to tell you how things work. I know that must have been heartbreaking for you as a manifestor to feel such a pushback when your energy is so powerful. And so having that sense of being kind of put in a box or made to believe that you are smaller than your soul knows you are must have been such a heartbreaking experience. And so now there might be this need to overpower that and really demonstrate your power, or maybe not. Maybe you're really fearful of stepping into sharing your vision. Maybe you have been conditioned to shut your mouth, don't be loud, nobody's interested in what you have to say. These are all experiences that have been stored in your shadow. And this shadow aspect is keeping you small, it's keeping you stuck, it's keeping you from feeling safe and showing up as your energetic, authentic self. And the moment that you start realizing that, and the moment that you start integrating your shadow and you're sharing your experience with others, others are going to be so impacted by your stories and by the way that you show up in this very authentic, energetic, aligned way that you're going to be able to share that peaceful energy and inspire so many souls, and you won't even notice that you're doing it because you're just showing up exactly as who you are. And that is the most impactful magnetic thing a manifestor can do. And this will allow us to fully see who you are. And so, these aspects of yourself that you deem are unpolite or that you have been made to feel guilty about, free them from your shadow, integrate them into your whole self so that you can show up as the powerful being you've come to be in this lifetime. For you, Reflector, your shadow is going to be really hard to digest because you have such possibility of being everything that often your shadow might be being too honest, being too sensitive, being too open, not being authentic, being too adaptive, too moldable. All of these things, it might be that somebody has made you feel bad about the freedom of your self-expression. How don't you have a style? Why don't you have a clear opinion? Why don't you this? Why don't you that? You are too wishy-washy. You are not standing on your own 2 feet. All of these things could be shadow aspects that people have told you or that you felt you've experienced or that you've seen society, your caretakers, your environment tell you when you were growing up. And all of these parts of yourself are holding you back from being able to step into your energetic purpose and really connect to the wisdom that lies in your open energy centers. So, if there's one thing that you can do is really starting to own and share and tell the world that you love 1,000 things, that you have 1,000 inspiration, that you will pick and choose from whatever you want, whenever you want. Because the moment that you accept your expression as a reflector, everybody else will be in awe. This is when your life will find alignment. This is when surprise will come into your life and you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is waiting for me on the other side of airing my shadow and embracing my shadow and bringing that shadow into the light. Here's the thing. The moment that we understand that we have a shadow is the moment that we see the possibility of turning the things that are holding us back into the one thing that will allow us to stand out. And we can see this with celebrities where often their horror stories, the moment that they share where they come from, the trauma they've been through, we start connecting to them on a deeper level. There's this one thing that I learned when I was in America studying to become an actor in 2007, which is that in one of the classes, somebody was teaching us, I think, I don't know, scripting something. He said, the personal is universal. And that is why when you share your darkness, when you share the things that you're afraid of, nobody can own you anymore. That is why celebrities like Cardi B and Hailey Batchfield are absolutely magnetic, because we might align or not with their values or their aesthetic, but there's one thing we can't deny. They have shared all of their ugly. They have shared all of their, imperfections with the world. And the only thing that it has done is made us feel closer, more empathetic, and just see them for who they truly are. And so when you have a capacity to just air your shit with the world will be in awe of you, and you will become magnetic, and people will resonate with you, and they will connect with the truth of who you are, because you are not only showing one side of yourself, but you are showing your whole complete self. And the freedom that comes with being unapologetically you and integrating your shadow, that sense of you've got you, is unbelievable powerful. If you're ready to bring the shadow into the light and embody your whole beautiful self, then you can now join my 6-week authenticity challenge in the description box below, where I'm going to give you tangible tools, workshops, journal prompts, so that you can start integrating and investigating these dark shadow aspects of yourself to turn them into the beautiful light and express them with the world, to become magnetic and have just this beautiful, authentic energy around you. Join now. 7 days to try for free. Don't miss this. If you'd enjoyed this video, as always, please like and subscribe to my channel. Your comments, your likes, your subscriptions make my heart grow fonder. It makes me motivated. It keeps me showing up every week for you. And I am so grateful for your time. If you have any ideas and you want to share with me things that I could talk about, please let me know in the comments. I read all of your comments. You inspire me so much. I'm so proud of you for showing up for your highest self. And remember, I don't care what anybody says. I love you.